Hello people, so once again I actually get to talk about the Super Dragon Ball Heroes manga because chapter 6 or chapter 17 is actually English translated. So the first chapter in the Universal Conflict Dawn of War arc. So it starts off with a brief description of the core area, and I guess the core of the Universal Seed, and inside we see Kumba being restored or being. While this is going on, you see Kamen and you see Orin, and then you also see Lagos. She's there. She's introduced immediately, and then you get introduced to Hearts, and then obviously Zamasu. So unlike the promotional anime where it literally tied in with the finale of the Prison Planet arc with Zamasu and the rest of the core area warriors appearing, that's new because we didn't get introduced to that in the manga. So it follows the events. Obviously, Goku disappeared following the explosion. We know everybody else got sent back to Beerus' own planet, where the story picks off in this chapter, or it begins in this chapter, which is interesting because Kumba's being restored, and it's like they bring up the whole subject about having him go to the prison planet in the first place, only for him to try and leave, and you have Kamen and Orin kind of like throwing shade at Kumba. Oh, you're useless. We should kill you. But the Hearts is like he actually served his purpose because he created enough energy for the Universal Seed, which is obviously a weapon to destroy the Omni King. Whether or not that's actually going to get used, I don't know. But either way, it's a threat, and now we know what Kumba's role was on the prison planet, and we know for a fact in the promotional anime, Hearts and Few do know one another, so it would make sense. So I like the conversations going on between the group, and then you have Hearts like, what should we do now? Former Kaioshin candidate, obviously referred to as Zamasu. I guess he got stripped of his title as well. And Zamazu's like, I already thought of a plan, but I don't need to tell you that because obviously we know Hearts can read minds. And Hearts is like, of course, I already know what we're going to do. Over to Beerus' planet where we get some exposition on what happened with the Dragon Balls. And Mai says the Dragon Ball got stolen. Obviously, we know Oolong and Azoto was the one that gathered the Dragon Balls, but Oolong was the one that made the wish everybody off the prison planet. By the way, I didn't see Oolong in this chapter. Just throwing that out there. Beerus is like, we can't worry about Goku. I'm sure he's fine because we got a meeting to attend to with the Omni King, which is interesting because if you remember back in the promotional anime in episode 7, Sharper was also nowhere to be seen when Universe 6 was already being attacked. So like the promotional anime, like I said, there's more context. We got this with the Dark Empire arc, we got this with the Prison Planet arc, and now we're getting it with the Universal Conflict. I think was a better introduction than we see. If we see the Kaioshin of Universe 6, and obviously, like in the Prison Planet, he's frantic because obviously Universe 6 universe has been attacked by the core area warriors. We immediately cut to Kaba, and he's been changed. It looks like Khalifa and Kale are actually helping him out. They've already been possessed by Kamen and Orin. Obviously, the Sapporian twins. We know what their abilities are. We saw that in the promotional anime. They can, much like Baby, they can take over somebody's bodies. And it looks like they already did that to Kale and Khalifa. Kaba does charge up to Super Saiyan, which I will say he never did that in the promotional anime. In fact, Kaba got barely any spotlight. Spotlight is brief, but it was there. So, but then out of nowhere, in comes Trunks and Vegeta. One attack, they immediately got Kamen and Orin out of Kale and Khalifa's bodies. Although, of course, Goku did that in the promotional anime. Him using Ultra Instinct, he did that to help out Kamiya to get Orin out of Vegeta's body. So it's cool that Trunks and Vegeta could do the same thing here for Kale and Khalifa. 5-on-2 because obviously the three Saiyans from Universe 6 and obviously Trunks and Vegeta stepping up. I will say is in the promotional anime when we got the introduction of Kamen and Orin, like they revealed their backstory, which I was surprised that Super Dragon Ball Heroes did that at all. I thought that Manga would do that. They didn't give this in this chapter. We know they got created by the Sapporian race. They got misused, created as weapons. They feared the power and tried to destroy them. So I was shocked we got that explained in the promotion anime because they usually don't do that. And what's even more interesting is we've got the Supreme Kai Shin appear as alongside Trunks and Vegeta, so I thought that was kind of cool. And it makes sense given what happens next. I like Kale's attitude, like, thanks for the help, but that's all the help we're going to need. Khalifa, obviously, we're going to deliver some payback. Vegeta acknowledges this. Yeah, you definitely are Saiyans. And then Caulifla snatches the earrings from Supreme Kai's role for being there. So they put the Batara earrings, and once again, we got Kale and Caulifla fused to make Kefla, so that was kind of cool. Seeing that in the promotional anime, in fact, it's beginning more and more that was more like clickbait. The opening trailer we got and the original opening, they obviously changed the openings with scenes from episodes, but it's like that was one of the very first scenes we saw was Kefla versus Zamasu, and now this makes sense. And she immediately goes Super Saiyan. It's hard to say if she goes Super Saiyan 2 because it cuts Norin are strong enough to handle Kefla, at least to a certain extent, which is interesting because in the anime, Oren was able to go toe-to-toe with Hit and actually counter Hit's time skip. Speaking of which, cut to Hit against Fuse Zamasu, which I immediately like because number one, it puts Hit in a primary role, which he never got that in the promotional anime, which sucks. Zamasu trying to sneak up behind Hit. Obviously, Hit with his time skip, trying to land a blow. Zamasu does dodge, but then Hit does get a blow in. Zamasu versus Jiren fight. This is another fight a lot of people wanted to see. And Hearts is like throwing shade on Zamasu. It's like, no, the gods are the problem here. Combo is like, Lagos is actually taking care of his injury. It's like trying to restore him. So that's Lagos' role. Also, there's a quote where he says, "Oh, we should be free." So he's obviously one about freedom. So it's interesting to see what his real goal is, why he's looking to wipe out the gods and the Oni King specifically. But you're no longer a god anymore, are you, Zamasu? You're immortal. Technically, he is because he's fused with Goku Black. Now, Hit, who the strongest in all the universes are, and much like in the promotion anime, you can see Hit thinking about Jiren, and immediately Hearts reads his mind. So, oh, Jiren is it? So where's he at? So obviously Universe 11, he can the blow on Hearts, but Hearts obviously reads the attack and dodges it, so that was impressive. So Zamasu comes up from behind, while Hearts blocks another blow from Hit, and then Zamasu comes in from behind, stabs Hit, and it looks like Hit is dead. So, wow, so I didn't expect that. So if that's what happened here, wow. And then we see Beerus and Whis traveling to the, I guess, to the meeting where all the rest of the gods are. And I guess they dropped off Future Mai, which explains why she left. So she's no longer with Trisky anymore. So obviously the first impression is, oh, Goku's dead. They can't feel his energy. But then Whis brings up, oh, maybe it's because he's not because he's dead. Maybe he's maybe he's in a place where we can't feel his power at all. And we're at the Grand Priest Palace. The Priest is training Goku. And it appears his training is over because he immediately goes, now it's time for you to go off and help your friends. So he's already trained Goku. So there's obviously been a skip there. We still get no explanation as to how Goku survived, but it's pretty obvious that the Grand Priest had to do something with it. Like I said, we got a lot more context, which adds a lot more weight into this arc, which something, even I know the promotional anime tried, but there's only so much you can do in a 9-minute episode. Explaining certain things, they introduced all members of the court, every warriors in one chapter, and he made Oren and Kamen look like bosses because they're going up against Kefla now, and they're faring pretty well. And obviously Zamasu, now I don't know if Hit's dead, because that's going to be, wow, so if Hit in one chapter, I don't think he's dead personally, but we'll see. Obviously there's more chapters to be translated. I don't know if there are any English translations out, but other than that, let me know what you guys think down below. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more Super Dragon Ball Heroes. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.